Hey guys, I just realized I think I did it again yesterday. So today we are on day 90, which is day 138 in our book. Yesterday we were on day 89, which was day 137 in the book. So I just thought I would let you guys know, just because I think I keep forgetting to say that in the beginning of my videos. So anyway, today we're on day 90, day 138 in the book, which is on page 133. Whole bunch of numbers for you. Now today we're going over the meaning of our Sabbat lamas, or as I will say, Lunasa. So the central symbol of Lunasa is the sacrifice. But what exactly is the nature of sacrifice? Now when you think of sacrifice, what do you think? Do you think of giving something up? Do you think of literally sacrifice, like sacrificing a goat, sacrificing children? Is it more of a positive thing to you, more of a negative thing to you? Because when you really think about it, sacrifice can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So a typical sacrifice involves something or someone giving itself for the sake of others. In this broad definition, sacrifice involves one form of energy giving itself up so that it can transform into something else. So if you think of it from the Christian point, you have Jesus who sacrificed himself for the sin of others. You know what I'm saying? To forgive sin. So he sacrificed himself, for others. From this perspective, we can see that, that soil offers itself in a sacrifice in order to nourish seeds. The seeds sprout, then offer themselves in sacrifice to become plants. Food sacrifices its energy so that it can become our bodies. It is the mystery of sacrifice or selfless offering that lies at the core of Lunasa. You can also think of it this way. A mother will sacrifice her body to give birth. Because I'm pretty sure, I don't have babies yet, but I'm pretty sure your body does not look and feel the same after having a kid than before having a kid. So it's just things like that. I mean, it can be like super sacrifice, or it can be, but there's that exchange of energy, okay? So the fact of existence in this life is that life feeds on life. When one ponders the state of survival, naturally thoughts can lead to questioning the purpose of living itself. What is this life that feeds on itself? Perhaps it is comforting to know that you are not alone when facing this daunting reality. Since the beginning of time, human beings have struggled to reconcile human consciousness with the mystery of life feeding on itself. One well-known Wiccan principle that seems to stand in stark contrast of the reality of lamas is that of harming none. This is the central tenet of the Wiccan Rede, which is a rule of thumb that guides witchcraft magic and practice. In the Rede, witches are bade to harm none and do as ye will. However, the question remains, how can we survive without harming? Life survives by killing and eating other lives. There is no other way. Even if you're a vegetarian or whatever, vegan, you are still killing life to sustain yourself. It may not be animal life, it may not be cows and pigs and chickens, but you are still killing plant life to sustain yourself. There are two principles to be considered, the deity perspective and the mundane perspective. The deity perspective encompasses the mystical view of existence and the sacrifice inherent to being alive. In this view, there are no distinctions between life and death, light and dark, here and there. Life is one functioning whole unit. From this detached, perhaps indifferent, universal perspective, there is nothing personal about life feeding upon itself. It just is. It's just the way it is. There's no harm caused to anything or anyone because nothing lives independently from anything else. Kind of like thinking about our web. Our universe is one giant web, and everything that you do affects everything else. Well, we're all connected in that way. So eventually, which is basically all the time, life is going to feed on life. It has to retain that web, that interconnection. It has to. However, there's also the matter of practical, mundane perspective, which does recognize differences and can see the difference between killing and not killing. It is in this realm that we live on a daily basis. From this perspective, we notice harm. So in one perspective, there is no harm, and simultaneously there is harm. It is a difficult quandary for each of us to consider, and the celebration of Lunasa calls our attention to this mystery and invites us to face it head on. Lunasa awakens us in a sense of conscious living. It calls for each of us to adopt the frame of reference of the great whole as we live our daily lives and consume. When we realize that we owe our lives to the plants and animals that we consume, we open our consciousness to an enduring sense of gratitude. So, our practice today is called Pagan Grace. And today, before each meal, consider the substances that are about to sacrifice themselves, or in most cases already have, so that they can become your own body, your own life force. Instead of thanking some notion of a divinity, as you might do in a mainstream religious practice, thank the animal or plant that has given its life so that it can become you. With each mouthful, open your heart in thanksgiving. So also write down these little questions. Did this practice change anything internally for you? If so, what changed? And is thanking the animal or plant that gives its life any different than thanking a god or goddess, and how? And this day really does make you think about everything that gives its life for you. Think about your furniture, all the wood that they put into furniture, which comes from trees. So they had to kill trees to give you a place to sit, a place to be comfortable, a place to sleep, a place to cover your head with your house. Just everything at some point, unless it's synthetic, comes from something in nature. So really think about that. The next time you go to take a nap, next time you go to sit on your couch, the next time you go to grab some grapes from the fridge or to have that big juicy hamburger, where that actually came from, and give some thanks. Alrighty, so tomorrow we are making llama bread. Okay, we're making bread for Lunasa, but I like to call it llama bread. Don't worry, we're not actually making bread. We're not going to be like Betty Crocker. So anyway, yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.